Welcome to NES Tips today. We're bringing you Bionic Commando. So grab your mechanical arms and let's get to swinging. No, wrong kind of swinging, freaks. You'll see. The entire game is based in an overworld map of locations that you have to descend to. Move to a square and decide to move on or go down. If you go down, you get to select your weapons and items to use. Now, in case you don't know, Bionic Commando has no jump feature, but a bionic arm to swing with. Learn the physics of this on the first level. On almost every level, you need to find one or two communications rooms to open the next door. Listen to any information you were told about which communicators to use in what areas. Write them down if need be. You can also wiretap, which is more risky. Good info can be found, but you may have to fend off some enemies. When you hit select, you'll notice L equals some number out of some number. This is the level you are at. Destroying enemies can net you a little pellet. The more you grab, the more energy you end up with. This game can get pretty sticky at times, so you can hang around certain parts on the first level to beef up if you'd like. There's a couple of good spots, so keep an eye out. When you reach 300 out of 300, you're maxed. Bosses always have a main system to destroy. In this case, you have to fend off a bunch of troopers to get to it. Go to this system and blast away. Defeat these to claim a prize. You'll also have to go to various towns throughout the gameplay. At these locations you can learn valuable information, like what communicators, weapons, or items to use in upcoming challenges. You'll find a host of pickups that will prove useful in your trek. Check everything out. Practice using your arm inside the buildings. You can get hard-to-reach items by testing out various techniques. You can even extract info from stubborn prisoners by getting close to them. If you fire your weapon in these neutral areas, you'll get attacked. Sometimes it is necessary though. Make sure you have the correct item equipped for the task at hand to continue on certain parts. If you're having trouble getting to a high enough point, remember that you can swing to get your character a little higher than what he already is. When you encounter a boss with a shield, the best thing you can do is just avoid him. He also has a bionic arm that he'll shoot up at you. Swing back and forth to dodge, and have at the system. If you get caught by the enemy trucks on the overworld map, you'll go into an overhead view battle. While doing this portion, just dodge the bullets and grenades and of course shoot the enemies. When one of them drops an eagle symbol, pick it up. This will give you a continue. There's even a hidden overhead battle that will give you a nice item. If you see bouncing balls, avoid them. They don't hurt you, but can knock you pretty far back. When you see some copter troopers, move as quickly as you can. They can hold you back and make your life difficult if you don't. Destroy any that get close to you. There are springboards located throughout the game. If there's nothing above your head, utilize these to get to higher ground. Most of the time, you'll need to use your arm to help assist in this. There's a robot boss that you'll face a couple of times. Avoiding his first couple of shots, you can go under him and face the other direction to dispose of him quickly. But hey, at least this baddie seems to have great taste in movies.
This is insanity, Max.
Or maybe it's genius.
Water bubbles can hinder your progress. Use your arm to pull yourself out of their grasp. In some cases, they can also give you a hand. I highly recommend using the rocket launcher through most of the game. It's very powerful and dispatches some of the bigger enemies rather quickly. Always be ready to grab onto something while falling. You never know what kind of dangers might be waiting for you at the bottom. Your bionic arm can also be used to push enemies out of your way if you can't shoot them. And every now and then, you'll find items that seem tough to reach. If you can't get them by natural means, you can always recruit one of the enemies to give you a boost. Sometimes it feels like your only option. It's not, but it is easier. Your feet slide when you're on top of poles. You need to do this to get some leverage on some parts, so make haste when you're on one. You can force your character through walls he shouldn't be able to by swinging high enough and pulling up at the top of your swing. This is very helpful, especially on this particular spot. If you get too close to this boss, he'll yank you and do damage. Stay just out of reach and drop down while firing to shoot him in the face. Some levels are maze-ish with doors everywhere. Check inside every one of them to find the communication rooms to open the boss's door. Try and remember where you've already been. Anytime there's a parachute, grab it to receive an item that can help you. It could refill your life. The copters on this level are especially brutal. You need the three-way to enter here anyway, so use its upper shot to the best of your ability. When you get to the tough swinging part, do your best, or else you'll have to do this entire portion over again. When you run into someone asking if you want a machine gun, hold off. There's actually 3 people who ask you, and only one will give it to you. Super Joe can tell you which one. There's a lot of dangerous spikes around some areas, so before swinging, plan how you're going to advance first. On the flip side, a leap of faith can work wonders. This is probably the toughest part in the entire game. When swinging, try to grab the ceiling at the maximum reach of your arm. Little swings are handy at times. On the last stage, Super Joe will inform you about 2 barriers you need to disable to advance. Destroying 2 different power systems will allow you to do this. To find those, navigate through spark rooms, but wait until they move before you do. There's even a room with 2 different doors. Decide whether you want to take the bottom or top one. At the skinny hallway with spikes, do tiny swings and grabs for the safest navigation possible. You can get up where you need at the back of the albatross or from the front, which is considerably more fun. Fire at the glowing portion. Grab the bazooka from Hal and blast the copter's cockpit on the way down. Do not miss. You have 60 seconds to get out, but there might be a surprise waiting for you. That's all for this week. Check the different items you obtain. There are some good power-ups to choose from. And before we get out of here, let's give some motivation to the Bears.